Timothée Chalamet, or as Lumiere would call him, Timothée Chalamet. Or as my Filipino mother would call him, Timothée Chalamet. I shouldn't have done that one. Anyways, since I started doing these breakdowns, he's been one of the most requested people, so we're gonna go over his hairstyle. Okay, I gotta imagine the intro music. Dun, 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 dun. What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Jesse's Barbershop. My name is Jesse, and if you're new here and you're somebody who likes tips, tricks, tutorials for men's hair and that kind of stuff, make sure you hit that subscribe button because that's what I do. Timothée Chalamet. He's been one of the most requested hair breakdowns from my comments and my Instagram and my TikTok. We're gonna be doing that today. So, as always, you can expect this video to be broken down into 3 major segments. The first of which is going to be hair analysis, where we're gonna be going over his hair type, texture, condition, all that kind of stuff, to maybe look into why he's able to do the stuff he's doing with his hair. The second part is going to be styling, the techniques he might use, the products he might use in order to achieve the style he has, and number 3 is, I forgot what number 3 is. Do you remember what number 3 is, Joe? Oh, what you should do and what to tell your barber if you're looking to get this haircut for yourself. So for step number 1, we're gonna head over to the $2,500 gaming computer setup and Google some pictures. Okay, so let's look at some reference photos here. I'm seeing right off the bat a lot of different stuff that's going on. Okay. Yes. Okay, so I think I'm gonna start off with probably the thing that I'm noticing most, and that would be, well, let's do a little exercise here. Which hairstyle do you like better on old Timmy here? This one, number 1, or number 2? 1 or 2? Save your answer, don't show the camera. Let's try this one. Number 1 or number 2? 1 or 2? If you said 1, why? And with this one, I don't remember which one was which, but if you said this one, why? This, that's the same shot. This. These are objectively more suited to Timothée. And there might be a good lesson here. My point of all this is because Timothée, as you can probably see in like this photo here, he has what we would consider a very heart-shaped face. It goes thinner towards the bottom and then comes up. He's got a bigger top of the head. So what this hairstyle is doing for him is it's accentuating the width of the top of his head and doing nothing for the bottom. He's got a wider head, hair is kind of coming out on the side, there's not very much volume on the top, so it's just kind of accentuating the width of his, temple region. Whereas with a hairstyle like this, there's more width towards the center of his face, which is kind of balancing out that heart shape. And also another big thing is he has length towards the back here. So I mean, as you could probably imagine with a heart thinner towards here, if you have hair that comes out back here, it squares off the entire silhouette. So it's just a more flattering silhouette for his face shape. So, I mean, that's kind of the number 1 thing I'm noticing. He's definitely got a lot of different styles going on, but I think objectively the longer style is something that suits him better. So I think that's the one we're gonna focus on today. Hair type wise, see, this is interesting. I feel like if somebody had this hair type, you can see it's like quite frizzy and I imagine quite wiry and dry towards the temple region. I can see that here. I bet if somebody had this hair type and didn't have a professional stylist styling their hair, it's quite common to have a lot of trouble with it because, like I said, it's frizzy. It looks like it's got a lot of natural wave to it. And I mean, that's a very difficult hair type to deal with. Yeah, I mean, obviously he's definitely, with this longer hair, he's figured it out like here. Yeah, I mean, in regards to the sides here, the fact he's got it longer is gonna help with that frizziness. So if you have that like drier, kinkier hair type, length can definitely help with that because that'll give you enough space to kind of smooth things out with a blow dryer or a product, that kind of thing. And as you know, the first thing I like to do is break down somebody's hairstyle by density and texture. So we'll do that here. It looks like he's got medium density. I mean, here it kind of looks maybe a little finer, but in all the other photos, it looks like he's got medium density and definitely a medium, but I'd say almost probably medium to coarse texture to it. And of course, there's a lot of wave in it, a lot of natural movement. So what I like about what he's doing with his hair is he has a lot of natural movement to his hair, and he's chosen a style that accentuates that and kind of leans into that a little bit more. Because a lot of times, I mean, that's something that you see a lot is somebody will, see a certain hairstyle that they really like on that person and then want to do it for themselves. But I mean, as I explained, depending on your face face shape and your hair type, it might not be the best style for you. So I like how he's doing that with his hair. It obviously suits him very well and is becoming quite popular. Overall, in regards to hair analysis, medium density, medium to high coarseness, and obviously a lot of natural movement to his hair. So that's pretty interesting. But as a teaching point here, I mean, some people might like this, and if this is the style you're going for, great. It's kind of like cute, I guess. But you know, this is a perfect example of a less than optimal hairstyle for your face shape. This guy's clearly got a heart-shaped head, and this is the exact hairstyle that you kind of want to stay away from if your head is that shape. Another point I'd like to make referencing this photo is if you are somebody with this hair type, it would probably be a struggle. But I mean, this guy's a perfect example of if you have your hair in a less than optimal style for your face shape and you know your hair type, then of course you're gonna struggle with it. And maybe at one point Timothy thought that this was the best hairstyle he's ever had and he can't do anything else with it. But you know, you experiment and you analyze your face shape and hair type and all, and watch Jesse's Barbershop, and you know, hopefully you'll be able to come to a place that, you know, maybe it's not this exact style, but it's something that's more suited to your head, your face. That's probably all I can say about the hair analysis phase. Yeah, with all that being said, let's jump into part 2, which is the styling aspect. So as far as styling goes, obviously he's found a place where he's got this super iconic hairstyle. And honestly, it's perfect. It's really nice. So let's kind of dive into this. First of all, we're gonna start here, which is the hair type that he has and the natural style that he was going for. I imagine he or his stylist have found that he had more potential with it longer. It suited his face shape better. So he grew it out, and now it's obviously something like this, which is really cool. When it comes to styling, the way I like to think about it is look at your hair and decide what the problems are. What is stopping you from achieving the look that you're going for? So let's say Timothy is going for this style, but he currently has this style. So what are the issues here? First of all, I mean, obviously it's the length. He needs more length to be able to achieve this style. I'm seeing a lot of frizziness. Imagine that if he hadn't styled it this way, there'd be a lot of flyaways. He just kind of has that hair type. What he has done, similar to the Shawn Mendes, I mean, this is a very similar haircut to the Shawn Mendes hairstyle from Wonder, if you haven't checked that out yet. I imagine he's utilizing some sort of softer curl cream, because like this one, you can see he naturally has a lot of movement to his hair. I think probably an aspect that a lot of people like about his hair is how smooth it is. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that that is achievable due to his length. You know, he's got that kind of naturally frizzier hair type. Now, of course, when you have more length on your hair, you have a little bit more control. You can do more with it. You can blow dry it. You can run product through and even like, you know, use your hands to smooth everything out. Whereas with shorter hair, just fresh out the scalp, it's kind of hard to have that kind of control. I said this in one of my other videos. My absolute favorite product that I've used when it comes to curls is Bumble and Bumble's curl line. Super good. Not sponsored, obviously. They have no idea who I am, but it's just the stuff I use, and it's super high quality stuff. If you have like frizzier hair that's hard to deal with and you want something that's, you know, nicer and softer, you have to use a high quality curl cream. The stuff that you get at the drugstore is just not going to cut it, especially if you're going for like a perfectly like 10 out of 10 smoothness. Just overall, poor quality products will affect the health of your hair and just not allow it to get to a state where it can be as optimized and healthy as possible. So use a high quality curl cream. Like I said, Bumble and Bumble's great, but there's a ton of different options out there. And I mean, if you guys have any suggestions as to what curl products you'd use in your hair, maybe you can leave them in the comment section down below. Okay, major points when it comes to styling is you're gonna have to have the length, and especially with curly hair, it's all about controlling the frizz and the movement of it. Curly hair naturally kind of does whatever it wants to, and if you're somebody with a frizzier hair type, it can be very difficult to control. And the reality is, if you're going for a style like this, you're going to have to put a lot more work into it than somebody who's going for like a, I don't know, shorter texture look or something like that. So yeah, I think that's it. Cool. I think I'll probably head back over there, and then we'll get into part 3, which is what you should do with your hair and what to tell your barber if you're looking to get a cut like this. Whew. So part 3, what you should do and what to tell your barber when you're sitting in the chair looking to get this haircut. Now, as always, my #1 tip when you get into a chair and you're looking to get a hairstyle is bring in pictures. That way your barber can look at it and say, yep, I can do this for you, or I can't do this for you. Here's why. Here's something that we can do that's similar but different. First of all, clearly he's got a lot of length. So similar to the Shawn Mendes video, he's got probably longer than this for sure. I don't know, 8-9 inches. anywhere from like 9 to 10 inches. I'm not sure, I'm not super good with measurements, which is crazy to say as a barber, but realistically, when I'm cutting hair, I don't think of it in inches, I just kind of look. So one of the major things, and this is especially because he has that heart-shaped head, he keeps a lot of length towards the back. And again, the reason for this is because, imagine the silhouette of a heart, there's a lot of white space towards the bottom chin area. So what that does is leaving length at the back, it kind of balances out that silhouette, which is why I think it was a great choice for him to do that. Obviously, it depends on your face shape. If you're somebody who wants this style but has like a wider jaw, for example, you can probably get something similar to this, but that's one of the amendments you'd want to make is, maybe you might not want as much length here. Let's say, your head comes in towards the top. You might want more length up here. You can still get that movement and that kind of thing, but it's just more suited towards your face shape. In regards to the cut itself, there's a lot of layers in this cut. Now, if you're somebody who naturally has that movement, you might not need to ask for as many layers or as harsh layers because your hair will naturally do that as it kind of springs up towards the top of your head. If you're somebody who doesn't have as much natural movement as Monsieur Chalamet, you're gonna wanna ask for a lot of layering. Now, we're gonna get into this here. I'm gonna say this again, as I always do. Make sure that the person that you're getting your haircut from is capable of doing this haircut. Now, the reason I bring this up, some guy on TikTok comment, I read all my TikTok comments because they're the most genuine source of feedback. In one of my TikToks, it was an explanation of a longer hairstyle and how to get that cut. And what I said was, you don't want to go to a barber for this because it's a longer hairstyle and typically barbers aren't as good with long hair. And he lost it on me. He's like, what did he say? That's a piss take to say that barbers don't know how to do longer hair. So I would again like to clarify, a lot of barbers, just typically, not all barbers, but with a lot of barbers, they aren't comfortable doing longer hair. I was on Reddit the other day on a subreddit called Male Hair Advice that I like to go through and laugh at sometimes. There was a guy asking for a longer haircut and asked, what he should tell his barber, and a barber, who wasn't me, commented saying, look man, if you're looking to get this haircut, like, it kind of pisses barbers off a lot of time if you come in asking for a longer cut because, like I said, a lot of times they're not comfortable with that. I think that's just kind of a general rule. Hairstylists typically have more experience with longer hair. Cutting women's hair is a huge thing for that. If you're used to handling longer hair and you can visualize how the hair falls, that all factors into the capacity of a stylist to be able to cut your hair. So, what I would recommend is, especially with a length like this, go to a stylist or somebody that can achieve this look. Two main things you should do every time. Bring in pictures so your stylist knows exactly what you're looking for, and make sure that whoever's cutting your hair knows exactly how to do it. Major points. When you're sitting in the chair and you're looking to get this cut, you have pictures, you're talking to your stylist, describe the things that you like about the haircut. So hair like this, you like the fact it's smooth, you like the fact there's a lot of movement in it, you like the fact that there's no frizz. All these things will help your stylist understand what you're going for, and then they can start formulating the techniques and strategies to be able to achieve that for you. If your hair is not as long as this, first step is to start growing it out, of course. And if you just grow it out, there will be no shape. When it does get to that length, you go to a stylist to get them to shape it and layer it and all that kind of stuff. If you're somebody that doesn't have as much movement in that hair, make sure you tell them that you like seeing that layering and that movement, because that's kind of one of the main features of Tim's hair. So I think that's pretty much it. I don't really know what else to say. This guy's just got perfect hair. You guys have no chance. Yeah, I think that's probably it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope this has been somewhat helpful for you guys. And as always, if you guys have any suggestions as to whose hair you want to see me break down next, leave them in the comments down below, and follow me on Instagram. If you guys like the video, give me a thumbs up. It really helps the algorithm. And last video we're at like 300 something subscribers. Now we're closing in on 500. This is crazy. But yeah, it's been amazing. I'm having a lot of fun doing this. So if you guys want to support me and continue, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and drop a like for me. I feel like I have a normal way to end my videos, but I just can't think of it right now.